Hello everybody, I'm Hema from Skilltimate Technologies. Today I'm gonna talk about important questions under PPS. So in this video, I'm going to explain these 5 questions. First question, what is the difference between an algorithm and a flowchart? Explain with an example. An algorithm is a step-by-step analysis of the process. Basically, a movie and a story. See, when we are talking about difference between algorithm and a flowchart, is the same as the difference between a movie and a story, or the same difference between a novel and a story. Algorithm and flowchart are two different tools used for creating programs, especially in computer programming. Algorithm is a step-by-step analysis of the process, while a flowchart, it explains the step-by-step representation, I mean to say, in the graphical way of representation. The main difference between algorithm and the flowchart. Algorithm, step-by-step instructions representing the process of any solution. Here, block by block information diagram represent the data flow. Here we are going to write a simple steps in algorithm. We are going to write the same step in a pictorial representation with different boxes in a flowchart. The solution is shown in a non-computer language like English. If you want to write any algorithm, we have to write a simple non-computer language. We can write the algorithm using simple English. Pictorial representation of process is nothing but flowchart. And the algorithm can be written for any problem. You can write algorithm for any problem. Easy to debug errors. So if it is step by step, it's quite easy to estimate, it quite easy to understand what type of errors you are getting. But algorithm is difficult to show branching and looping. Whenever you want to write looping, for example, if loop, if you want to write if loop algorithm, it's little difficult. But coming to the flowchart, it's quite easy because if the condition is true, what will happen? We are going to write the statements in a separate box, false statement in a separate box. Difficult to debug the errors. Algorithm easy to debug errors, but flowchart difficult to debug the errors because each and every image we need to understand what's happening, what will be the output of this particular uh, image. So you have to understand each and every step, and it's quite easy to design the flowchart. And we have to use different symbols like rhombus for the conditions, ellipse for the start and end points, right? So here are the simple example algorithm and a flowchart for swapping of two numbers program. So left side I have algorithm. As I already informed, step-by-step instruction representing the process of any solution. So here step 1 start, step 2 enter a comma b is nothing but input values. Step 3 a is equal to a plus b. Step 4 b is equal to a minus b. Step 5 a is equal to a minus b. That means this is the logic of the program. Step 6 print a and b. Step 7 end. The right side, the same program flowchart will be there. Start, input values, the logic, print statement, end. So you can use different programs. You can also write algorithm for the addition of two numbers program. So those are quite easiest programs, right? So next question, explain basic data types in C language. We have different data types in C language. So before that, what is a data type? What is data? Data used in C programming is classified into different types based on its priorities. So data, what is a data? Information. What is data types? Data types in the C programming language are used to specify what kind of value can be stored in a variable, the memory size, and the type of the values of a variable and determined by the variable data type. For example, I want to give instruction to the computer like I want to store 10 value. So where I need to store, I have to create a variable. For example, here I created a variable name A is equal to 10. If I want to store A value 10, I need some memory, right? So how to provide a memory? Using these data types, we can easily provide memory to the variable. So the syntax of creating a variable with a memory location is data type variable name is equal to value. Basically, we have four types of data types. Primary data types, we can call it as a basic data types or a predefined data types. Second one, derived data types, is nothing but secondary data types or user defined. Predefined, when Dennis Ritchie developed this programming language, he defined basic data types. That's why we are calling it as a primary data types. Derived data types. Derived data types are nothing but after few years of developing C language, user developed his own data types. It depends upon the requirement. So that's why we are calling it as secondary data types or user defined data types. And enumeration data types, void type. I'll explain each type. Basic data types. Basic data types are nothing but integer data type, float points, double data type, character data type. Enumerated types used to define variables that can only assign certain integer values. So enum values. In few cases, we want only integer values. In that case, we can directly create enum data type values. Void, if you want to return any empty value, like if you don't want to print any value, you can directly use void data type. Derived data types, I already explained, these are the user defined data types. So like arrays, structures, unions. In the first one, basic data types are primary data types. The primary data types in C programming language are the basic data types. This because we use all these integer, float, double characters in our all programs, right? So that's why we are calling it as a built-in data types. We have four major data types: integer data type, floating, double data type, character data type. So here is a flow chart of basic data type: integer, floating point, character. Under integer, we have a signed integer, unsigned integer, floating point, float, double, long double, character, signed character, unsigned character. What is signed, unsigned? The question. So whenever we are going to talk about signed integer, unsigned integer, or signed character, unsigned character, what is signed versus unsigned values? Unsigned is nothing but an unsigned integer value. It's also an integer that cannot be a negative and thus has a higher range of positive values that can assume. Unsigned is nothing but not a negative value. Signed, the signed int is an integer that can be negative but has a lower positive range. In exchange for more negative values it can assume. If you observe unsigned character, if you calculate, unsigned is not a negative value. That's why unsigned integers, unsigned value starts from 0 to 255, and signed, so both it will accept little positive values and little negative values, minus 128 to 128. Signed is nothing but it accepts both a negative and positive values, and unsigned only positive values. So integer, the integer data type is a set of whole numbers. Every integer value does not have a decimal values. So we use int keyword to represent integer data type in C language. The integer data type is used with a different type of modifiers like a short, long, signed, and unsigned. So how to declare how to use integer data type? We have to use a keyword int, and the memory is 2 bytes. The format specifier is %d. For short int, we have a same 2 bytes. We can use the same specifier, format specifier. Long int, 4 bytes of memory, same specifier. Next, floating point data types. Floating point data types are a set of numbers with the decimal value. Every floating point value must contain the decimal value. The floating point data type has two variants. One is float and other one is double. If you want to declare float values, you have to use float keyword. If you want to declare any variable as a double, you have to use double keyword. Float size 4 bytes and the format specifier is %f. Double is 8 bytes and the format specifier is %ld. Character data type. The character data type is a set of characters enclosed in a single quotes. Like if a character is nothing but a single alphabet, we use the keyword char to represent character data type in C. So here we are using char keyword. The size of a char is 1 byte and the format specifier is %C. Next, void data type. The void data type means nothing or no value. Generally, the void is used to specify a function which does not return any value. So if you want to pass empty parameters to your function, it won't return anything, right? In that cases, we are going to use void data type. What is enumerated data type? Enumerated data type is user-defined data type that contains of integer consists of each integer is given a name. The enum keyword, enum keyword is used to define the enumerated data type. Basically, the main purpose of enumerate data type, it will print constant integer values. Next, derived data types. These are user-defined arrays, structures, unions, enumeration. So I'll explain all these arrays. Array is nothing but collection of similar data items under a single name. The same meaning for the structures, unions. Next question, give the structure of a C programming along with example. Here is a structure of C programming: header file, main method, variable declaration, body of the code, return. So without return also it will execute, but you have to give the return value. The main purpose of the return is whenever you are not going to pass any value, it compiler should return some value. So if I write return 0, automatically it will print the 0. So here is the example. Have written example for the addition of two numbers program. I passed A and B values and C is empty value. In the body of the program, I entered C is equal to A plus B. That is the logic of the program. After performing addition, I'm going to print C value. So here is the structure of the program. And the fourth question, why are compilers and interpreters are used? But what is a compiler? What is an interpreter? Compiler. A compiler takes the entire program into one step. See, here have written this much program. First, I have to compile the program, then execute the program, right? So whenever I'm going for control F9, automatically it will execute the program. So before run the program, we have to compile it. Who will compile the program? Compiler. Compiler executes all the program at a time, but interpreter takes a single line of code at a time. It will read line by line execution. It won't take the code at a time. The compiler generates an intermediate machine code. So I already explained. First, it will read the code from the user and it will convert into byte code. It's nothing but machine level language. Then only it will understand what the code is all about. Then it will give the reply to you. The interpreter never proceeds any intermediate machine code. It will directly execute the code. The compiler is the best suited for the production environment. An interpreter is the best suited for a software development environment. The compiler is used by programming languages such as C, C++, Java, Scala, C# programming language. An interpreter is used by programming languages such as Python, Perl, Ruby, PHP. How compiler works. First, source code. will read by the compiler, then it will convert it into machine code, then you will get the output. How interpreter will works? Source code, interpreter will execute it, directly you will get the output. Fifth question, explain programming languages. But what is a language? Language is a mode of communication that is used to share ideas, opinions with each other. For example, if you want to teach someone, we need a language that is understandable by both the communicators, right? That is nothing but a language. As we know, to communicate with a person, we need a specific language. Similarly, to communicate with the computers, we need programming languages, right? We have a different type of programming languages. One is low-level language, second one high-level language, third one middle-level language. Computer languages are the languages through which the user can communicate with the computer by writing program instructions. Computer languages, low-level language is nothing but machine-level language. Middle-level language, nothing but assembly language. High-level language is nothing but human language. First one, low-level language is nothing but machine-level language. Low-level language is the only language which can be understood by the computer. We can call it as binary language. Binary is nothing but ones and zeros. A computer can directly understand the binary language. Machine language is also known as machine code. What are the advantages of machine language? A computer can easily understand the low-level language. Low-level language instructions are executed directly without any translation. Low-level language instructions requires very less time for the execution. What are the disadvantages of low-level languages? Low-level language instructions are very difficult to use and understand. In low-level language, there is more chance of errors and it's very difficult to find the errors, debug and modify. Next, assembly language is nothing but middle-level language. Middle-level language is a computer language in which the instructions are created using symbols such as the letters, digits, and special characters. So what are the advantages and disadvantages? Writing advantages, writing instructions in a middle-level language is easier than writing instructions in a lower-level language. Middle-level language is more readable compared to low-level language. Easy to understand, find errors and modify them. What are the disadvantages? Middle-level languages is specific to a particular machine architecture. That means it's a machine-dependent language. Middle-level language needs to be translated into low-level language. If you want to convert it, you have to convert. If you want to understand the middle-level language, if you want to execute it, you have to convert it into low-level language. Coming to the high-level languages, a high-level language is a computer language which can be understood by the user. The high-level language is very similar to human-level language and has a set of grammar rules that are used to make instructions more easy. Advantages. Writing instructions in higher level language is easy. A high level language is more readable and understandable, easy to understand, create programs, find the errors and modify them. And the disadvantages, high level language executes slower compared to middle and low level languages. High level languages need to be translated into low level languages. If you want to understand, if you want to execute high level language like a C program or C++ or Java program, you have to convert that into low level language if you want to read the output. So thanks for watching.